been like an hour, so I'm gonna take the tape off and see how it looks. And here is the after. So recently my fiance bought this huge house for me and our baby. And as you can see, we have not moved in yet. So today, what I'm gonna be doing is picking out what paint samples we're gonna be putting up and doing some swatches so we can see which one is the best. The previous owners did pick this paint color. It's technically white, which I didn't know until I put up all the samples, but it reads as really yellow, especially when the 1970s chandelier is on. So I wanna just get something that's a little bit cooler toned. Since it's empty, this is the best time that it is to be painted. But I wanna make sure that I make the right choice because everything looks so different in the swatch versus on the wall versus, you know, once it's on the entire room, which this apartment is really big. It's 1,250 square feet, which is, for Manhattan, is huge. Even though it is a 2-bedroom, because it hasn't been cut up 1,000 times to make more bedrooms, because the woman who lived here didn't do anything since the 1950s to renovate it. So we're really lucky that this exists, that we're able to live here. And yeah, I'm really excited to kind of go through this process and see how we can make it our home. So I'm gonna take you along the journey with me. And yeah, today is paint. About a week ago, I put up all of these paint samples and I came back to the apartment maybe like 10 or 20 times. And each time the light would be different. And so I would cross out several that I didn't like at that time of day. And it left me with a few options. And then I just went and got samples of 3 of them. So the final ones that I landed on that I got these little samplers of, we went with Bear, because it has like green gold certified, so it means it has low off-gassing, which is great because we have a baby, we have a 10-month-old. So we went with Natural White, Nano White, and Bit of Sugar. I wanted Whisper White, but their system like couldn't figure it out. We spent like 20 minutes waiting for them to try and problem solve, and now I'm just taking it like as a sign from the universe that Whisper White is not the white for us. My top one is the Bit of Sugar. I'm like 95% sure that this is the winner, but I wanna make sure that it looks good in the different rooms because I've only put the swatches up on this wall here, and the light is very different in the bedrooms. And we just kind of want to have one color at first, and then once we have all of our furniture in, if we decide to go bolder later, it'll be a really easy canvas to cover with a darker tone. But we really want to make sure that there's enough light that we don't kind of, like you can see, the light is gorgeous in here. There's no lights on. So we don't want to make it too dark since we do have that going on. And yeah, I also think it's just very like fun to go through the process of swatching, and I've never had the opportunity because I've always been a renter since I've lived in New York. So today's the day. So I took down all the swatches of the ones that are definitely no's, and I left up the 3 we're gonna sample, but I also left up 2 that looked really white when they were in my hands, but then once I put them on the wall, they're literally this color. So I wanted to show you that too, because it's really interesting. You can't even tell in this video how yellow this reads when it's up. You can kind of see from the contrast with the trim and the built-in there, but yeah, I was very startled when I put it up and I was like, oh, actually, this is linen white, and I didn't know. So in the middle, those are the 3 that we're sampling, and then the top one and the bottom one are almost the exact same color as the wall, especially this one up here. Linen white, I think that's what they did. This area is like the entryway, and it's really far from any windows, so it's a lot darker in here. And then this is the really warm tone chandelier. So this is gonna be very interesting how it looks different here than even in the same room, just closer to the light. Also, since this is the first kind of project I'm doing in this space, you guys don't know that we bought it as like a fixer kind of. It's an as-is sale. The woman who lived here actually lived here until she died. She moved into like hospice care. So there's no ghosts or anything, but we have these really cute, like old school pink and black bathrooms. And then also there was like a lot of damage left on this wall. because there was a built-in here that we asked to have taken out. It was kind of pretty in pictures, but in person it was like particle board that was completely, I don't know, like the moisture kind of broken it down. So it had to be done, but then there's like holes where you can see the plaster there, and that's gonna be a challenge. So I guess that's confirmation also that we're painting no matter what, so there you go. Also, I'm not sure if I should swatch in the hallway. This is the hallway area, and I don't really know if it matters, and I don't know if I have enough paint to do so many spots. So I'm gonna wait on this, and then if I have extra, then I'll do a swatch here too. So this is gonna be my daughter's room, and I'm not sure in here if I should swatch on this wall where the light hits less or over there where the light hits more. I'm thinking I'll do here because I think you can see the color more where the light doesn't hit. See how it looks much more yellow here than on that wall, even though they're the same color. So I guess decision made. Last room is the kitchen, and I think I'm gonna use this as an opportunity to see how the whites look with the trim color, because the trim is like actually a true white in my opinion, and if we can not paint the trim, that'd be really great. So I'm gonna do some like vertical swatches where each of them actually touch the trim color and see like if that plays a factor in my decision. So that's how that looks, and I think with this one I'll do it like 1, 2, 3 for the color order. Okay, so since I don't know how much time I have, hands-free time, if you have a toddler, you know, I'm gonna start with my favorite, which is the bit of sugar. So it's gonna be like the middle one, and then I just have these like pie pans that I bought last minute, and I have a little roller, and I love that I don't have to like pry this open or anything, so it should be really easy. Bit of sugar. Okay, I'm gonna go do the other wall. See ya. I finished the bit of sugar in all of the swatches. I definitely have more paint. I only used like half of the little thing, but I don't think I need to do more swatches. I just have to come back and see like, how does it look in different time of day light? We don't have electricity right now because we aren't living here and we don't need it. But once it comes back on, that will definitely play, I don't know, some sort of factor in the decision, because I'm not planning to change that at least anytime soon, because it's kind of awesome, to be honest, but it definitely has like a warm hue. So now we're gonna do the next color. All right, so I finished painting everything and have all the samples up. I definitely am really glad that I went through this exercise, because the one that was my 95% favorite, like, let's be honest, I was just going to choose this one no matter what, is not my favorite once it's on the wall. My backup choice, which I almost didn't get sampled, is looking like my favorite right now. So that's very, very interesting. I'm gonna come back like multiple times and check it during different times of day, different light, once the electricity comes back on with the lights there. The other thing I would say is, if I were to do this again, especially if it was like a higher stakes, like I'm picking between whites, like let's be honest, I would definitely buy multiple of the foam rollers, because by the third one, having rinsed it out twice, it definitely was like a damp tool, and it definitely had some dripping. So I'm like, that might make a little bit of a difference in the final product. The other thing I'll say is that all of the samples are matte, which is not the finish we're gonna end up getting, but it was what they had available when we picked up the samples. So hopefully that doesn't make that big of a difference. So I will circle back and see how they look. It's been like an hour, so I'm gonna take the tape off and see how it looks. I'm like a little nervous that when I paint over it, it's gonna leave like ridges. You can really tell how yellow the linen white looks. So this top one is the natural white. This is the bit of sugar. And then at the bottom, we have the nano white. I still don't really feel like I know which one to go with. The middle one was my favorite before I put them up. Okay, so this is the before. And here is the after. I'm pretty surprised that the blue tape actually left a little bit of damage to the first coat, like all around, which I thought the point was that it wouldn't, but. I'm definitely glad I did one like this because it's really interesting to see how it plays with the original trim color. I think the one on the left kind of looks the best with the trim, but we'll see in different lighting how it all works out. So it's been about a week and I'm in my current apartment, obviously, since I have a couch and furniture and everything. I went back several times and we did get the electrical turned on and we're gonna go with Bit of Sugar. The whites look different in every single room, but the Bit of Sugar is, like, in my opinion, it's the whitest white without feeling like I'm in a photography studio. So I was right with my gut, but I'm really glad that I verified by putting up the swatches and going through the process. And now we have to wait for the electrical to be completed and get everything like patched up and ready to paint before I can give the final reveal of how it looks in the finished space. So I'm so excited to see how that all works out, and I'll be back with an update when we're there.